part 3 of my book of roleplay, or roleplay book, Action Moves. For those of you who are new, you should check out my other sections too. But for a quick overview, I'm providing roleplay moves in a fashion similar to providing spells for you to scribble into your spellbook, so you can slowly and steadily develop skills and experience you could add to your roleplay handbook to improve your confidence in roleplay. This time we're going to talk about action moves, specifically things that allow you to push forward and make things happen when you want to say or do something, but you're not quite sure how to start. I've got a cantrip, a level 1, and a level 2 for you. Let's start with the cantrip. The out of character sorry. So it can be hard to roleplay as a beginner at the table, especially when you're concerned that your character's action could be an obstacle or a problem for another character or the party at large. What do you do then? Say sorry out of character. I get it. A lot of people are tempted to say, it's what my character would do, to defend yourself. But if your character, in being your character, does something detrimental to your team, or just one member of the team even, then don't be afraid to apologize as a player. For example, Benjamin's gonna take the hat. When you take the hat off the pedestal, a rumbling begins. The structure itself seems to be changing. Coral, you were leading Shane out in the dark, but you feel something very quickly brush up against your forearm. A wall has risen between you two. You hear Shane's desperate call. What's happening? Where'd you go? Oh no. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Coral. The reason why I do this is because though we may know each other to be role players, we may know each other to be teammates, hopefully. It's always good to reaffirm that we all know we're playing a game here. And sometimes we get unintended consequences for each other that hurt. And when that happens, even if we had no idea, it's good to say sorry, because then we show that we're still on the same team as players. We're still on the same page. To help shoo away any possible thoughts of, is Matt messing with me on purpose? Now the example I use is much more of a softening of an in-game action, without true knowledge of the consequences. But if you do happen to say or do something that rubs another player the wrong way, then I'm sorry is your most valuable tool. I wouldn't try to excuse it. I wouldn't try to justify. Something after I'm sorry might feel like you're trying to push accountability away from you, which isn't gonna help. I'm sorry can be the easiest and hardest tool to use. Just remember, in our roleplay handbook, it's a cantrip, so you can use and practice it a lot. The reason I start with this for action moves is because the more you take action, the more likely you are to create problems and obstacles. That's something you accept with any action, which includes doing nothing. But it's a lot more obvious where the consequences came from when you choose to do something active. So hold on to this and be ready to use it. Now let's move to a level 1 roleplay move. Eyes, hands, feet. It can be hard to describe what your character is doing in a particular moment. One of my favorite cues is to rely on 3 elements: eyes, hands, feet. Eyes represent what your character is looking at in that moment, what they're focused on. Describing this can be an indication to the table as to what your character wants, is afraid of, hates, loves, etc. Terrence has his eyes on the orb of destruction. This indicates to the rest of the table a clue as to what you might want to do next. Making it clear allows your teammates to step in, if they want, to keep you and the party safe, or support it and see what happens. Hands represent action. Whether you're actively getting ready to do something, Terrence puts his hand on the hilt of his sword, pulling it out of its scabbard. Or if you don't have anything to do, that energy of emotion lends itself to the hands. Perry is clenching his fists angrily. Feet is all about movement. Whether you seek to advance into the fray, Terrence strides forward. You want to retreat to safety, Perry backs up in fear of what might happen. Or you simply stand firm. Claudia stands her ground firm, ready for action but focused on keeping an eye on the surroundings. Note that I'm adding something to each of these to enhance the description. When I decide on eyes, hands, or feet, I give them purpose, and allow that purpose to dictate my narration. So if my character trains their eyes to the ground, there's a reason for it. Maybe fear, which then becomes the picture I paint, which leads to, what is my character afraid of? These steps give me the opportunity to figure out the description, and possibly push my character to action. Now let's jump into a level 2 action move, breaking the silence. You know those silences that come after a GM has finished setting the scene. What do you want to do? If you want to break the silence, you can always go back to 3 things. Do the action that needs to be done. Say the words that need to be said. Feel the feelings that need to be felt. You can pick one and say what it is, because that helps everyone around you. Do something. We've fallen into a hole. We can't climb back out, so let's look for a way out. I'm gonna start looking for a way out. Say something. I'm gonna speak up. We need to regroup. Okay, it looks like Bruce is looking for a path. Is everyone else okay? How many people do we have? Feel something. Norman is scared. He's starting to shake a little bit. He feels like he's the one responsible for all of us in this position. He murmurs to himself, did I do this? This is all pretty simple, right? But now we have 3 things that are out there that we can do, make rolls, which is helpful because now other people at the table can latch onto those. You're looking around? I've got a flashlight, I'll come with you. Yeah, if anyone is hurt, I've got medical supplies. I'll put a hand on Norman's shoulder. I feel the same way. We can't let anyone know. Not now. Hopefully not ever. I think that's a pretty solid start for some more action-oriented techniques for your role playbook. If you want more, then please like, subscribe, comment. That'll show me and the almighty algorithm that this is valuable, and I'll crank out some more techniques, categorizing them into difficulty to make it easier to figure out which ones you want to scribble in and try. Until next time, stay safe and take care.